Accessing peace. Existing without violence, with the ability to calmly resolve conflict. Downloading love. An overwhelming, deep, positive affection towards others. Activating liberty. Living your life as you see fit without infringing on the lives of others.
Welcome to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com. I am your host, Darryl W. Perry, the Liberty Penguin, the Wombat, the uncut cocaine of libertarianism. And we're going to talk about motivation. What motivates you? How do you find motivation when you're not feeling motivated? And that's sort of, like one of life's questions, right? Because nobody wants to not be motivated. Everybody wants to be motivated to do something, but what happens when you just, you're like stuck in a funk or in a rut and you don't really know how to get out, or, like you try to move forward, but it's just sort of so slippy and grimy and mucky that, you start going and then you slide backwards. And then, you start feeling unmotivated, like, I'm never going to wind up getting out of this rut. Well, how do you wind up feeling motivated? Well, I've got an article here from archetypes.com about how to find that motivation when you're feeling defeated. Article begins, disappointment and discouragement has a way of weighing us down and sapping our positive energy. When we appear defeated, it seems so easy to retreat and accept being a victim of an overwhelming situation. And I'm going to pause here to say, sort of think about, and I know we've all been in one of those overwhelming situations. Just think about it for a second. And I know it might seem counterintuitive, right? Like we're trying to get motivated, but I'm saying think about when you were in a not so good, not so motivated place. But just bear with me. And now, think about where you are now. Maybe you're still in that unmotivated place. Well, hopefully you're not. But can you just sort of, like backtrack how you wound up getting out of that unmotivated place? Well, we'll go through, again, they have some steps here on how to find motivation. Maybe some of these are things that you wound up doing without realizing you were doing them. Maybe you did realize you were doing them. Article continues, being motivated when you are low can seem insurmountable, but it is necessary for you to find a process to get out of the negative situation. Here's how to find motivation when you appear defeated. Find your mantra. Find your mantra. You're re-energized when you read through those few words that remind you of how strong you are and the so many possibilities that are ahead of you. Those positive quotes from those who have passed through such moments you were going through can help you find strength, gain direction, and take action. Here are a few. Nelson Mandela, the greatest glory lies not in never failing, but in rising up after every time you fall. That basically a more poetic version of saying, get knocked down on your ass 7 times, stand up 8. Mandela just, added a little bit of flavor to it and said it more poetically. Robert Schuller said, problems are not stop signs, they are guidelines. Problems are not stop signs, they are guidelines. So, if you're swimming or boating, you stay inside the buoys. That's basically problem. Oh, yeah, can't go, that far. Got to go this direction. It's not a stop. Well, what happens at a stop sign? You stop, and then you wait on the other traffic to go, and then you can go. That's assuming it's like a two-way stop, and there's traffic that just keeps going on that busy road where they're not stopping. You've got to stop and hope. Oh, nope. I thought there was an open. Nope. And then traffic starts piling up behind you and somebody starts laying on a horn. Yeah, it's not a stop sign. It's a guideline. Michael Jordan, you've probably heard of that guy. He was, pretty good basketball player. He once said, obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run to a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it. So find your mantra, whatever it is. It could be, quotes from somebody else. It could be a quote from yourself. You know who said that? I did just now. Maybe somebody put those words in that order at some point previously. I don't know. But make up your own mantra. It's good to see, that motivational photo and the really famous person's name attached to a quote, but make up your own quote. Next, after you find your mantra, focus on the things that you will always be grateful for. Gratitude has its benefits. Always focus on those things that you are grateful for and that matter to you. While it may seem easier to focus on the negative, you should learn to appreciate those things that life has blessed you with. Even during such moments of defeat, you can find a journal and list 5 to 7 things that you're grateful for in life. Replacing gratitude with feelings of defeat can re-energize you and to keep you going. And that sentence is worded kind of weird. I think what they're trying to say is, instead of the negative feelings, put in positive, grateful feelings of gratitude. And this is one of the things, and I know I've mentioned the podcast before, the School of Greatness podcast. One of the things that I love about that podcast is towards the end of the interviews, the host, Lewis Howes, always has a series, the same questions that, he'll ask in slightly different order. But one of the questions is always, what are you grateful for today? What are you grateful for today? Answer the question. You've got time there. There's a commercial coming up, so answer the question. When we come back, there's more here on Peace, Love, Liberty Radio.
In 2115 New England, there are no borders, no states, and no regulations, yet never has a more peaceful and prosperous place existed. But Mr. Drake Security Company has seen better days. Faced with the prospect of waning power, Mr. Drake intends to replace the anarchy of New England with a government. But at what cost? Will anybody care? And can anyone stop him? Anarchy in New England by Joe Jarvis is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at weusecoins.com. That's weusecoins.com.
You're listening to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com.
Welcome back to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com. We'll continue with the list here of ways to find motivation when you're feeling defeated. But maybe you're a Bitcoin enthusiast. And maybe you're feeling a little confused and possibly defeated with the hard fork thing coming up very, very soon as of the time I'm recording this, depending on when your podcatcher winds up downloading the episode. Maybe the forking has already happened. I'm not sure. I don't know when you listen to the show. But, there's a lot of confusion going around. But wouldn't it be great to know where you can use your Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies? Well, you're in luck because there's a search engine for things that you can buy with cryptocurrencies. Spend-A-Bit has aggregated millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy by using free market money and Spend-A-Bit. Use my affiliate link, spendabit.fppradio.com. And yes, I know that some of the Bitcoin accepting merchants are, temporarily halting just because there's, the possibility of like a replay attack or a double spend or something. So, maybe wait a couple of days, but use my affiliate link, spendabit.fppradio.com. And if you're a Bitcoin accepting merchant, like I am, reach out, ask about their merchant suite to help you reach even more customers. Spendabit.fppradio.com. Getting back to the list of ways to find motivation when you're feeling defeated. Find your mantra, something that keeps you going. Now, I know I've talked about this before, and it's something that, in my recent athletic endeavors, lapping everyone on the couch has kind of been my mantra. And I know it sounds funny, right? But I'm sure you've seen that motivational thing online where it says no matter how slow you're going, you're lapping everyone on the couch. And it's the thing that basically gave me the energy to finish the triathlon that I did a couple of years ago when it took me 42 minutes to wind up getting out of the water. And that was only a quarter-mile swim. I know I've talked about this before, and I'm actually in the process of working out a detailed outline to wind up putting together a book on how I wound up as a 37-year-old man that weighed 317 pounds getting back into shape and becoming a runner. And one of the stories that's going to be in there is about this triathlon. But, right after I started swimming, my shoulder started hurting, and then I started getting nervous and panicky, and I couldn't breathe right. And the swimming, I thought I was going to die half a dozen times at least. Last person out of the water, the 80-year-old guy that got in the water 6 minutes after me, got out of the water several minutes before me. But I get out of the water, and I grab my bike, and I had some bike problems. And I'm not going to go into all the details again, but wound up, ultimately somebody loaned me a bike so that I could finish the triathlon. So I do the 8-mile bike ride by myself. And yeah, I realized that, when if I would have, gotten out of the water sooner, I would have been quote unquote by myself because it's an individual event, not a team event. But still, when you're in the vicinity of other people, it's different than just, riding 8 miles on the road without having human contact or, seeing people or talking. And so then finished that and then did the 5K. But the entire time after I was out of the water and I realized I wasn't going to die, lapping everybody on the couch was the thing that kept me going. So that's been my mantra for my athletic endeavors recently. So you find your mantra, then focus on something you are grateful for. What are you grateful for today? Me, I'm grateful for my health. Now remember why you're making the effort to reach your goals. Goal could be whatever. You want to run a 5K. You want to walk a 5K. You just want to get off of your couch and walk a mile. Whatever your goal is, remember why you're making the effort. Ask yourself why you should not be average and why it's important for you to reach your goal. It could be to inspire and motivate others. It could be to attain character and to secure confidence. There's always a why when you work to reach your goal. The goal is the what, but behind every what is a why. When going through that feeling of defeat, it's up to you to discover the reason behind why you are making the effort to attain something. What is the why behind your what? Every obstacle or challenge helps you to reaffirm your beliefs, strength, and hope. Through these, there is a chance for you to be reminded of why you started the journey in the first place. What is your why? Be in tune with your inner person. You will always benefit from exercising or listening to soothing music when things appear difficult. Such activities as exercising and listening to workout music put you in tune with your inner person. Disconnecting from the source of your defeat and relaxing could make you refreshed and re-energized to bounce back from a difficult situation. Now, if you're not motivated to even do anything, then relaxing isn't really what you need to do. But hopefully you understand the concept here. And the final piece of advice here on how to find motivation when you're feeling defeated: appreciate the moments. Appreciate the moments. We'll delve into this paragraph that they have about appreciating the moments. Plus, I'll recap all of the ways to find that motivation when you're feeling defeated. Plus, what are some lies we need to stop telling ourselves? Stay tuned.
Hey, this is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends radio show. I've been working with computer programmer Derek Slopey to create Fiend Phone. I'm using Fiend Phone right now to talk with and record one of my co-hosts in real time. Take it, Davi.
Hey, this is Davi Barker, and I'm 1,000 miles away from Michael, but we sound like we're in the same room.
We sure do, Davi. So, Davi, please tell the nice people more about Fiend Phone.
Fiend Phone is free, open-source software that opens up a global world of possibilities for collaborative, high-quality remote voice media production, and I'm digging it.
People can try the Windows beta version of Fiend Phone right now at fiendphone.com. But we're also raising money to vastly improve Fiend Phone and vastly improve independent talk media worldwide.
So go to fiendphone.com to help out. Who will build the audio roads? We will, with your help.
That's fiendphone.com. FEENPHONE.com. Foxtrot, Echo, Echo, November, phone.com.
Fiend Phone. I never knew remote audio could be this good.
This is Paige Peterson from MaidSafe, and you're listening to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio with Darryl W. Perry.
Hey, welcome back to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at ftpradio.com. How to find motivation when you're feeling defeated. First, you need to find your mantra. Find your mantra. Something, a positive quote to get you going. What is your mantra? Focus on what you're grateful for. Remember why you are doing what you're doing. What is the why behind your what? The what is the goal, but what is the why behind that what? I realize that sentence sounds rather strange, but, that's because I'm speaking English, and it's a really weird language. Be in tune with your inner person and appreciate the moments. Even though it's been about 21 years, probably longer, almost 22, since I started the football practice for my senior season, I will never forget something that one of the coaches, I don't remember who the coach was, but I will never forget what he said. He said, "Gentlemen, never forget the feeling of the grass when you're doing your morning stretch, because you are never going to have this moment again." And this was, before the final football practice that we had. He was like, hold on to this. Never forget this. And there are still times when, if I step into some grass that's got a little bit of dew on it, it takes me back to those football practice, the pre-practice stretching. And that there was always a joke that after the stretches, do this stretch, do that stretch, the good day stretch. The good day stretch. Now, people that do yoga are very familiar with the good day stretch. I know you are. You just don't call it the good day stretch. You call it Shavasana. I never even connected the dots until just now that the good day stretch was Shavasana. But after that stretch, before football practice began, we good day stretch where you just lay there and you just soak in everything. The dew on the grass, the feeling of the grass, the smell of the grass. And we're going to have a good day. This is our good day stretch. You appreciate those moments. You appreciate the present. The article here continues. It says, you were not born to be a failure. While you may have low days, things will always turn out in your favor if you only take the necessary action to make things better. Rather than burden yourself in worry or react physically, it's always better to take a deep breath and put things into perspective. Focus on being in the moment with a clear mind. Focus on the present and how you can proceed, even when in defeat, helps you recover and motivated to make things better. Most times when you're going through becomes insignificant with time. Let me repeat. Most times, what you are going through becomes insignificant with time. It's up to you not to sweat the small stuff, after all, but make the right choices to live the life you want right now. There's the famous quote of, there's two rules in life. Don't sweat the small stuff. Rule number 2, it's all small stuff. Don't sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff. Now, shifting gears, jumping over to another article, this from the Becoming Who You Are blog. And I'm actually excited to share this, not only because I really like the content of what's in this blog post, but I'm also in about a month and a half going to meet Hannah, who runs the website Becoming Who You Are. She's actually going to be one of the speakers at the Free Coast Festival in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. I'm actually one of the sponsors of that event. Actually, my lobbyist firm, Liberty Lobby LLC, is the sponsor. But as the CEO and the only person involved directly in the organization, I'm the sponsor, or I'm a sponsor of that event. So really excited and looking forward to meeting Hannah. But let's jump into this article. 8 lies it's time to stop telling ourselves every day. And as always, the links will be in the show notes, and I'm going to have to kind of go through this a little quickly since we're running short on time. Lie number one that we need to stop telling ourselves, I can't do this. When things are incredibly hard, we often feel like we can't go on. Life feels too difficult. The chances are you probably are doing the very thing you tell yourself you can't do, all the while telling yourself you can't do it. Anything is possible. You're a lot stronger than you think. I'm guessing you have overcome many challenges and do so every day. So change that I can't do this to I can do this. 7 more lies that we need to stop telling ourselves every day. I'll get into them here in the closing moments on Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up in any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com. That's getcell411.com.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
You're listening to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio with Darryl W. Perry.
Welcome back to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com. Going over the list of 8 lies it's time to stop telling ourselves every day comes from becoming who you are. The person behind this, Hannah Brame, will be one of the keynote speakers at the Free Coast Festival. This blog post, actually, not from Hannah, it's a guest blog post from Lynn McLean Brown. Lie number 1 that we need to stop telling ourselves, I can't do this. Instead, I can do this. Lie number 2, nice people put others first. What does looking after yourself look like? What replenishes and excites you? How often do you put these activities off to support other people? There's a difference between being nice and being a pushover. And again, I'm skipping most of the paragraphs that are written here. Link will be in the show notes. Lie number 3, if only I had more time. How many times have you said that? I know I've said this about things. If only there was more time. I'll do this after, I want to wind up doing this instead. If only I had more time. Next time you tell yourself there isn't enough time, can you notice it? Is it true? Can you question it in that moment? Now, this isn't to say that, needs to be work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Of course, you need time to relax. But that's where the whole, prioritize things comes in. Lie number, I think this is 4, I need to get it together. Nobody has it all figured out. Skipping to the next one, I should be doing something. This one often pops up when we take a break or are doing anything that isn't considered fun or work. Unless your house is on fire, chances are most things you think you should be doing can actually wait a little while. Next on the list, I can't do, fill in the blank, people will judge me. What's the saying about dance like nobody's watching, sing something? In the grand scheme of life, you singing karaoke while drunk at the bar, well, yes, it might embarrass you at the moment, but in 10 years, 20 years, 100 years, 1,000 years, will it really make any difference? No. The next couple of lies, I should be satisfied with what I have and things will never change. Link will be in the show notes. Find out why those are lies and send me questions because I answer them every Friday. ama.fppradio.com.
The podcasts of FPP Radio are licensed under Copy Heart. We believe that copying is a form of flattery and do not abide by the copyright laws. Those laws serve to restrict the flow of ideas which no one can really own. Copying is an act of love. Love is not subject to law. If you enjoy the show, consider joining the Fans program and get perks like ad-free versions of Peace, Love, Liberty Radio and FPP Radio News, and also get a copy of the monthly newspaper FPP News. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com.